Good to meet you. Please come in. Please come in. No, please come in.
Too much of you. Well, hell, you're Connie Mack. Or you'll have to excuse me, gentlemen. I did not anticipate on being in the presence of greatness. If you allow me a moment to compose. Well, I reckon that's as good as it's going to get. Mr. Clark, as you probably already know, I'm Rube Waddell's father. And I came here today to watch my son play ball, and as you probably already know, my son ain't here, which I assume is safe to assume you're mad as hell, and I don't blame you. But I came here today to ask you to, please, don't let my son go. Now, I know he causes a ruckus, but old Rube just a little boy in a big man's body. I'll be the first to admit to you, Mr. Clark, my boy is a little strange. And I take responsibility for that on account that I'm a little strange myself. You know, whatever common sense God didn't give my son, he made up for it with passion and a heart too big for his body. Old Rube's got more passion in him than an entire battalion of soldiers in the front lines of battle. Old Rube's got liquid fire running through his veins. Unfortunately, that fire's always had the tendency to run wild, and he's had to find his own ways to put it out. And I reckon these days it's with liquor. And on an off day, when the clouds get in the way of the sun shining on his face, that liquor will act as gasoline rather than water. And I used to tell old Rube, you got to find ways to use that passion for good, to trap that passion in a bottle. I used to tell old Rube, you light yourself on fire with that passion, people will come for miles to watch you burn. And old Rube, always taking things literally. Next thing I know, I'm standing on my porch watching my little boy douse himself with gasoline inside an orange grove. If I'd gotten there a moment later, I would have been cradling my boy's ashes rather than his flesh. Well, please, don't let my son go. Now, I know it may be hard for a man like you to understand this, but my family has been cursed for things done long before me, and that's my cross to bear. And I used to tell old Rube, if you were ever going to get anywhere, you're going to have to work harder than everybody else. Whatever million things my son ain't good at, he makes up for by being great at one thing, and you know what that one thing is. I've seen it, you've seen it, we've all seen it, and he did all that on his own. While other boys were learning to play ball, playing catch with their daddies, my son was learning to pitch heat by chucking rocks at chickens and crows while I was either working or lying down drunk. Please don't let my son go. Now, he needs structure. He needs something to keep him occupied. He needs someone to show him the way. Now, I know he veers off track every once in a while, but he'll always find his way back. And if your train leaves the station before he has a chance to find his way back to the road, my son may never find his way back home. He'll get lost inside his mind, and that's a place that you don't ever want to be. I've seen it. I've looked inside it. It's a dark place. A deep, cavernous tomb, pitch black, cold, and damp, and you'll want nothing to illuminate it. God help you if you do. Well, I reckon I've taken up enough of your men's time, and I'll let you get back to doing whatever it is you do.